Tottenham v Roma predicted starting lineups for Europa League match amid Romero update. Tottenham Hotspur return to Europa League action on Thursday night when they take on Serie A giants AS Roma at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs return to Premier League action against reigning champions Manchester City on Saturday and claimed a stunning 4-0 win, and will look to return to winning ways in Europe after suffering defeat to Galatasaray last time out in Istanbul. Roma on the other hand have changed manager since their last Europa League game, where they were held to a 1-1 draw by USG. Claudio Ranieri's arrival couldn't help at the weekend though, as they were beaten by league leaders Napoli. Both teams have their own injury problems coming into this game, and this is how GivenSport expect the sides to line up as a result. Ange Postecoglou has been rocked by the news that first-choice goalkeeper Vicario has been ruled out for several months after fracturing his ankle during the win over Man City, adding to the injury problems within the squad. Defender Mickey van de Ven is ruled out for several more weeks with a hamstring problem, and Mikey Moore and Christian Romero look set to miss out after being absent from training. Richarlison and Wilson Odobert remain long-term absentees, while Will Lancashire is suspended after his red card against Galatasaray, but Rodrigo Bentancur is available. Tottenham predicted 11, Forster, Gray, Dragusin, Davies, Spence, Bentancur, Bissouma, Johnson, Bergvall, Werner, Solanke. Tottenham predicted substitutes: Austin, GK, Udigi, Def, Porro, Def, Romero, Def, Sarr, mid, Kulusevski, mid, Madison, mid, Casanova, mid, Son, FWD, Moore, FWD, Williams Barnett, FWD. With several key injuries, Postecoglou is unlikely to risk too many first-team stars ahead of a busy schedule, and this is a good opportunity for some fringe players to get minutes under their belt. Bentancur will almost certainly start in midfield, while Romero is unlikely to be thrown back in. Timo Werner could get the nod on the wing after his cameo performance against Man City, with big earners James Maddison and captain Heung-min Son rested ahead of the weekend clash with Fulham. Ranieri opted to revert to a more old-fashioned 4-4-2 in the Napoli defeat, despite making very few changes to the personnel. Lorenzo Pellegrini returned from injury to replace Matthias Sol in the only change from Zurich's final game, while Paulo Dybala was only fit enough for the bench. He's unlikely to be ready to start in London, but should be on the bench again. Alexis Saelmakers is closing in on a return to the first team. But Uzbek international Eldar Shomurodov is a confirmed absentee with a muscle problem, while Mario Hermoso hasn't traveled with the squad. AS Roma predicted 11, Sviler, Selic, Mancini, Hummels, Angelino, El Shaarawy, Cohn, Cristante, Saelmakers, Pellegrini, Dovbyk. AS Roma predicted substitutes: Ryan, GK, Marin, GK, Ndicka, Def, Abdulhamid, Def, Abubakar, Def, Pisili, mid, Zalewski, mid, Paredes, mid, Baldanzi, mid, Dahl, mid, Lofi, mid, Sol, FWD, Dybala, FWD. Ranieri is likely to go with more of the same from the weekend as he looks to implement his ideas, but the experienced Mats Hummels should come in from the start in central defense. Dybala, who earns £177,000 per week, may not be fully fit, so he's likely to be on the bench, but Saelmakers can come into the side in place of youngster Nicolo Pisili.